Final time of the regular season, presenting sponsor of the Husker game recaps is Dingman's Collision Center. What sets Dingman's apart? Locally owned, family operated. They live in the Omaha community, have pride in the community, and Dingman's has been the trusted name in collision repair for almost 30 years, building a reputation by doing things the right way and taking care of people one repair at a time, earning them to be voted first place and best of Omaha for 20 straight years, 4 locations across the Omaha metro area. Proud to be partnering with Dingman's Collision Repair, and big thanks to them for sponsoring the Husker game recaps all season long. Ruud, Nick Bahe, final score, yikes.com, Iowa 40, Nebraska 16. Okay, let me start with this, Bo. I didn't watch the game until this morning. We are taping this on Sunday.
Really? Okay.
Well, so I was in Chicago. I was calling Oklahoma Marquette on NBC.
Yeah.
Nebraska kicked off at 11. The Marquette-Oklahoma game tipped off at 1 o'clock. So I'm doing pregame, talking to Shaka Smart. I'm talking to, I didn't have time to watch I couldn't watch the game. So, but on my flight home, I watch highlights of the game. I listen to a lot of post-game shows, listen to Ruud post-game press conference. Then finally this morning, I was able to watch the game in totality. So a very weird process for me in watching the game. But even knowing what happened, there were a lot of things that were amazing to watch, and I'm curious to get your take. I want to like fly through the game, and we'll just kind of, when you hop in, whatever, we're going to talk about some things.
Gotcha.
As we're running through it, because it's one final time. Let's talk about the game here.
It feels like it's been a long time, even though it's been a couple days. I think it's the holiday, right? Like, so it's just
everybody's
a weird
all messed
weekend.
up.
It's Sunday, but it feels like that game was like 2 weeks ago.
It definitely. Okay. Well, first of all, did you like Nebraska wins the toss and takes the ball? Rule wanted the fourth quarter wind. What did you think of just real quick, just that whole wins toss, takes ball?
I liked it because we want the win in the fourth. I think that's probably right.
Though, because clearly you didn't go to the game, right? Or did you?
No.
Yeah. Okay. You were with the fam and
the fam at home. Yep.
But it's always never good when you take the ball and you go 3 and out. That's always like, okay. But Iowa, Nebraska exchanged 3 and outs to start the game. Then on Nebraska's second drive, Emmett Johnson pops the long 70-yard run all the way down to the 1-inch line. And then Nebraska's able to cash it in and get up 7-0. But you could kind of tell right away, like, oh, Emmett's like,
I mean, it's on. It was on.
Like, he was like, I'm emptying the clip here. Like, you guys are gonna have to kill me to tackle me today.
Yeah, because I think I didn't know. It's like, is EJ going to give us a game like this, or is it going to be like Iowa was going to shut him down and end his season? And like from the jump, it was an Emmett game. I mean, he had like a career game in the first half alone.
He had 100 plus yards in the first half. Yeah. In the first quarter, I think he had
120.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, so you're like, what is going on? At one point, I could imagine if you were watching it live, is Emmett going to get like 250 or 300 on Iowa?
This would have been the game where you could have pushed the high 200s, because I think he had 120 in the first quarter.
Yeah. I mean, he finishes with 2 bills, and there were like, they only had the ball like 3 times in the second half. He didn't get very many carries. But so Nebraska's up 7-0. Let's go.
Yep.
Nebraska, and now it's hard. The wind made it hard. But obviously one of the keys to this game was you cannot kick it to Weegan.
Yeah.
Because that dude, I don't know where does Iowa find Cooper DeJean, Weegan?
I don't know. They find him.
It's like they got Westworld. They're like growing white punt returners and kickoff returners.
Like really athletic. Yeah, just really athletic. Really good football players.
It's great. So, but kick it to Weegan, long return, face mask on John Hole as well to tack onto it. So Iowa gets the ball at the 29, but Nebraska holds them to a field goal.
Yeah.
So again, like rewatching it, and I'm like, hey, okay. Like,
yes.
Not bad, right?
Yeah.
7-3. Then there's a theme here. Nebraska, bad kickoff return for Ja'Cory Barney.
Yes.
Like in some ways, low-key Kenneth Williams getting hurt sneaky big
There's just been a few plays that have turned the tides of games a little bit
on kickoffs.
Yeah.
Like,
so I have a pretty with being able to take the ball to 25 versus the 20. I think these kick returns have to be really good, and or even if you're good, you've got to be able to catch the ball with forward momentum.
Mm-hmm.
That would be my rule to my guys. Like, guys, if you're backing up at all in the end zone, and take a knee, right? If you're going backwards and you're not steady and comfortable, to like, you know what I'm saying?
All know, you know that feeling when you're like, you're on your toes as you catch, boom.
You're coming out the gates, right? Because the difference when you're coming out the gates, it's like 5 to 7 yards.
Mm-hmm.
By the time you get to where the defense is approaching you, it's a 5 to 7 yard difference.
Agree.
And it's like boxing, right? It's like beating somebody to the punch. All you got to do is beat somebody to the punch by a quarter inch, and you're winning the battle. Right. So when you are catching the ball, not with the forward spring, when you're catching it going back, you've lost the kickoff return. You've lost. You haven't beat them to the punch.
Couldn't agree more.
So that would be with returners. It's like it's an art form, right? You got to know how, when, where, and we make the mistake. Barney's made it on a few punt returns where it's like, you don't just take it every time just to do that. You got to have an advantage, and you lose the advantage when you're not springing forward on your catch.
Totally agree.
And so like Mekhi Nelson did it the other week, where he went backwards to catch it. And then, it's like, take it on the 20. It's a guaranteed 25. So if you're not beating them to the punch with the like, I'm catching the run, I don't want us taking it out.
Especially when you are going into the wind.
Yes.
So field position, like,
yes, it's a strategy thing.
Yes.
When you're against the wind, because then it's like, okay, we're backed up and then we punt. We've just now lost, let's say 10 to 15 yards on the kickoff. And then we're going to lose 15 to 20 on the punt.
And it happens.
Yes.
So Nebraska gets the ball to 14. They go 3 and out. They punt. Of course, it's into the wind, and everybody's terrified of Weegan.
Yeah.
The Westworld clone punt returner that Iowa has grown in a lab. So Iowa gets the ball at the 50, and hitch and go. Rex Guthrie bites.
Yeah.
Really bad on their tight end.
Good play. I like the play call, like the route, great route.
Yes.
But it's like we just got burnt.
A thing that was Nebraska's pass defense had been really good all year, and then they gave up a lot of chunk plays through the air in these last 2 games. Now, I don't know if it was like because they were having to put more guys in the box, sell more out to the run, whatever it is, but there just were a lot more chunk plays through the air. But Guthrie bites on a tight end hitch and go, and they score 10-7. But again, we're talking that hidden yardage of it's 10, 15 yards.
Yeah, you could feel the weight of field position in this game early. We sort of like we played right into the Iowa playbook. Like, let's make those little mistakes, taking it out of the end zone. Like kicking it to Weegan, like little mistakes, right? Like those are little mistakes.
Or Barney bringing it and getting stuck at the 14. Those are just the little things that are like Iowa's like good.
Truly, because like I think we maybe got a little ways out, but we didn't get, when you're on the 25 and you get, even if you get 9 yards and have to punt, you've moved, you've turned the field.
It's just different.
Iowa has to then march the larger stretch versus like they're leaning on you on your side of the field.
For sure. So then it's 10-7 now. Iowa's up. Nebraska then has a nice drives all the way down, has to settle for a field goal, but they get points. So now
they took the points. I actually appreciate take these points.
Because that's what I rewatching, I'm like, God, I wish I didn't know what happens here. But I thought, I think it's the right move in this game against that opponent, those weather conditions.
You take the points.
You take the points.
You take those points each time.
10-10. Here comes another big play. Kickoff. High in the air, into the wind. Iowa muffs Weegan short-circuited.
Yeah.
They forgot to change his batteries before he went out there. And then he muffs it. Nebraska recovers with great field position.
Mm-hmm.
Like at this point, I'd have to imagine Memorial Stadium and a lot of Husker fans watching it live are like, oh my gosh, okay, here we go.
Yeah, this is the part where I don't know exact time, what the time was in the game.
Right. This is right at the end of the first quarter.
Okay, so that's where it's like, you didn't watch it live. So you saw the score, man. We didn't even have a chance. Like, if you watched a quarter, that was not how the game felt.
There were some people that were predicting, like, and it makes sense because of the weather and the matchup and the nature of Nebraska's offense, like that it was going to be like a 13-10, 10-7 kind of a game. And I mean, there's long plays and points. Yeah. In the, I think the total was like 37, and there was 20 points in the first quarter. But Nebraska gets the ball, good field position. On third down, they take a shot into the end zone to Quinn Clark. It actually was a good throw.
He mistimed it.
He mistimed his jump.
Golly, yeah.
And doesn't catch it. And that's something that happens throughout the game. Like, their other cloned white wide receiver that has the one-handed catch we'll talk about, like, their guys made some 50-50 plays, both defensively and offensively. Defensive backs and wide receivers, and Nebraska's didn't. But Nebraska has to settle for a field goal.
Take the points.
They're up 13-10. I wrote in bold, stop right here. Nebraska, you have to be feeling great right now. You are up 13-10. Mm-hmm. Emmett Johnson already has 100+ yards rushing. You made a good special teams play that usually goes against you. Now that play's coming, obviously. You've kind of stopped Iowa running the ball. Like, through the first quarter, it wasn't like Iowa was pounding them on the.
No, they beat us on the slant and go, or the stop and go, right?
Yeah,
like they made a nice play.
So it's not like one of those games where, like, in the Penn State or some of these other games where it just got away from them right away.
Yeah,
like, you had to have been feeling pretty good about things here, up 13-10 into the second quarter. Iowa's next possession, they have a nice, and this is something it drives me nuts that Nebraska has been able to do all year. They run like a legitimate, nice play action pass. They sell the run. Gronowski turns. They get the long crosser. So your right gets beat by I don't know his name, the other white wide receiver for Iowa. That flips the field. And then it seemed like just like the perfect play call where they run the quarterback draw to Gronowski on it. Nebraska blitzes.
Yeah.
And Gronowski, what Gronowski does a nice job on his QB draws is he truly waits like 1001, 1000, go.
He wasn't fast at all. He wasn't necessarily quick. He just was kind of effective, though.
Yeah. And if you watch him,
I can't even describe. He just like was effective running the ball.
Yes. And he's big. He's not necessarily like a big physical runner, but like he's big.
I think he saw the field pretty good. He's big, and he just like he made every yard he could possibly make.
They run a nice quarterback draw to get down the ball down inside the red zone or inside the 10. They pick up a first down on a quarterback sneak. Sneak where they motion the guys and then they end up scoring, and so now it's 17-13 Iowa.
Yep.
And you're like, okay. That was the first drive where you're like, oh, man, okay, you kind of, they had the one slant and go or hitch and go, but that was like they drove the ball down you. Nebraska drives down once again. They get it to 2nd and 4. They take a fade shot into the end zone, incomplete. 3rd and 4, they run it to Emmett Johnson, and Emmett gets stuffed in the line of scrimmage. They have to settle for another field goal, but Cunanan makes it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's points. You're
points.
Up.
I mean, that's the whole the thing that I'm happy with taking points is like in a game like this, you just stay within the striking distance, and you get to the game to the end where you hopefully you have the team that can win the game in the fourth quarter.
100%. I mean, you have 17 points, and you've moved the ball decently well. Again, a theme throughout the season has been not been able to finish drives with touchdowns, but you're up 17-16. Iowa gets the ball back. They have 3 timeouts, and there's like 2.5 minutes left.
Yeah.
And Iowa finally pops a long tailback run. I think it might have been an outside zone where a guy cuts back.
Yeah.
Where again, it's I don't know. They just there. Sometimes I'm watching the D line and I'm just like, what? You are just getting moved off the ball where guys are like on almost like their back is getting.
Yeah.
It's not good. But they get the ball to the Nebraska territory. There's then a big penalty that we never saw a replay on. It was 2nd and 10. Gronowski scrambles, slides short of the first down. So it's going to be third down, but it's hands to the face on Judy. Where Judy has led the country in hands to the face penalties this season. And so, but I said, instead of it being third and short, it's an automatic first down and half the distance to the goal. Yeah. And so now the ball's at the 12-yard line, and Iowa ends up running a quarterback sneak, punches it in. So now it's 24-16. But that penalty on Elijah Judy is a big one.
Yep.
So now it's halftime, and this is where you go, ugh. Like, you're trotting into the locker room, and you feel like you kind of played okay. Like,
but Iowa capitalized on everything, and we just were like, we were just okay. We weren't great.
No.
But we weren't terrible. But like, it's like we just didn't do enough to keep Iowa out of the end zone. Like, we even like forcing a couple extra field goals. Like, if you're giving Iowa touchdowns,
you're in trouble.
You're in trouble.
Well, that because Iowa scored on their last 4 possessions, 3 touchdowns and a field goal.
Yeah.
And while it didn't feel like they were just getting gashed, they're scoring.
They are.
Last 4 possessions they're scoring. But it's kind of deflating a little bit where you're like, damn, Emmett's running the ball well. You had the turnover on the kickoff.
Yeah.
Those kinds of things. You're other than one long run, you've kind of stopped the run decently well. Yet you gave up 24 points and you're down 8 and Iowa has the ball.
Yeah.
So here comes the second half. Nebraska actually gets a stop on Iowa's first drive, which felt like, I had to imagine in the moment you felt like this, if Iowa scored here, it was probably night.
Yeah.
They get a stop, forces a punt. Here comes a big sequence. They punt the first time to Ja'Cory Barney. He catches it, runs, gets hit, fumbles. He was down, but still he lost the ball.
Yeah.
But there was a penalty, illegal shift. The guy wasn't set or whatever it was on Iowa, and they have to punt it again.
Yep.
Second punt, Ja'Cory Barney muffs the catch, is able to grab it, gets crushed, fumble, ball in the end zone. Nebraska recovers it, safety. Iowa now leads 26-16. Stop. Is the rule kind of should Barney have just, once you muff it, do you need to just jump on it?
I don't know if there's a rule, but he put the ball on the ground 3 different times in the span of a minute.
Yes.
So something is wrong with Barney in that moment.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't have a hard rule. That's one of our guys that we need to be better.
Yes.
That's all I can say. Because if you're one of our guys, like our team is going to be based around like you're one of the 5 or 6 most win our games.
Yes. Like
you put the ball, like that's probably the signal we're going to lose.
I agree. I agree. Now, the other part of this play, targeting.
Yeah.
Technically, and even Gene Steratore came on and said technically it was targeting.
But you know what? When you fumble it 3 times in a span of a minute, you don't deserve to get the call.
That's kind of what I know.
I said to myself while watching, I said, we don't deserve it. I said that because we didn't deserve the call. That was a beautiful hit. That was an open field tackle. Barney was running open field and got targeted, but he was not defenseless.
That's right. He's a ball carrier. I don't know.
Put his hat into him and then to the ball. It was like, I know, it's the crown.
But how are you supposed to tackle, Bo? You're telling me you're running full speed and you gotta chin him or something, like, or how
Nick,
are you? I don't know how
it's too hard when Barney can make any move he wants to make.
Right.
And this guy in the open field puts the tip of his head on his face and then on the ball it was too good. They deserved it. We didn't deserve it.
I agree. Now, it would have been huge, obviously, because if they would have called targeting, it would have erased the safety, and it would have been 15 yards from the spot of the foul. So Nebraska would have had the ball at the 25, but instead it's 26-16.
Yeah.
But I'm more with you, and I know there's Husker fans that are probably upset hearing that, but I don't know. I'm not ready to lose my mind over that.
It looked
call.
So clean on the field. It didn't look, like targeting to me, the
Targeting if a wide receiver's coming on a post.
Looking,
yes.
Right. Like there's all these times but like this is an open field. It's hard to target an open field tackle.
Yes.
I don't even know how you do it. So
I agree.
Whatever.
So, but again, watching it, I go, okay, well, this must be where Iowa scores. And it's no. Nebraska forces a 3-and-out and another punt.
Yeah. The defense, as bad as they were, gave us the
two stops to start
in the second half. That's all they had, really. I feel like that was what they had to give us. And could we fight our way back in the game from there?
Well, because what's amazing here is Barney then tries to redeem himself. He has a good punt return out to the 50.
Yeah.
But Mangini gets the personal foul, hitting the guy on the ground.
Yeah.
What do you? I don't know. I mean, whatever. I mean, I know. I'm sure. Again, I think this was very similar to the Pritchett one. I don't know. Whatever. But 15-yard penalty. So instead of the ball at the 50, it's now at the 35. First down, Emmett Johnson, run for 6 yards. Second down, incomplete pass. Third down, incomplete pass, punt. And you're like, all right, 3-and-out. Now the ball is coming back to Iowa. And this is the play, I think, that kind of like ends it. 3rd and 4, play action boot pass. Sayer Wright comes in off the edge. You have to get Gronowski down.
You're unblocked. I mean, and like Sayer Wright, I would say you got to give him credit for he's had a really good year.
Yes.
But you know what? He's another guy that there's been about 4 to 5 tackles he's missed this year that have been big, third down, big moments in games. I'm thinking back to Minnesota. I'm thinking,
Michigan. I think Michigan, he had one.
Yes,
in the first half.
Yeah,
that he missed.
I feel like he's missed.
He's not tackled well.
He has not tackled well. That's where his sort of like. I've been a little disappointed with those big plays where we've needed him. I don't care that he hasn't had a bunch of picks because he's done a good job covering. But we need him to make the big plays in those moments. Like sometimes those are big plays.
But what we just talked about with Barney, your best players got to like make the big plays. Like Sayer Wright would be on if you're listing guys.
Yeah.
That gotta be big time good. Sayer Wright's on that list.
Yeah. But see, sometimes it's not even like, sometimes it's just make the routine play.
Yeah. Right.
Like, can we count on you to always like, if you're free on the sack and it's you on a semi-mobile quarterback that's not like that you can just slow down and go grab, like you got to make that play.
Yeah.
You cannot let Gronowski shake you and go get a first down.
Because when he shakes him and hits the tight end and the tight end gets the long gain down to flip the field. Side note, you know what I was thinking about too? Do you remember Tony Rule's first year, Tony White's first year? Remember one of the biggest things about that year was the unbelievable open field tackling.
Yeah.
Remember we talked about that, and it was from seemingly like anybody that played.
Yeah.
Where you had to always be like, who is that? Who is that? Who is that? It's weird how much, to me, the tackling, in particular, the second level and third level tackling this year eroded badly to me.
Yeah.
But so play action pass hits the tight end because Sayer Wright didn't get him. They get it all the way down to the 20. Then Nebraska has the penalty for too many illegal substitution, too many men on the field, gives Iowa 1st and goal at the 6. They run 3rd and goal, delayed quarterback draw again, and Gronowski goes untouched for the touchdown. And now Iowa leads 33-16 with 4:47 left in the third quarter. And now it is like
Iowa football.
It's like yikes.
Yeah.
Nebraska goes 3-and-out on its next possession, has to punt. Iowa gets the ball back. This is the drive where they have the big throw down the sideline, and that wide receiver makes an unbelievable one-handed catch. Definitely a catch. Iowa scores on the next play, 40-16 now with 13:40 to go in the fourth quarter. And then just kind of to add to the exclamation point to the terrible day, Nebraska has a nice long drive. I will say 2 things that this is just got to talk about Harburg here. They bring in Harburg on 3rd and 1 and they run him. I think he didn't get that first down, guys.
He got stoned by a defensive back.
Yes.
Hardcore. Like Mano a mano, that guy won.
That was the mating rights that we talked about. That was Harburg. And
that guy's on the top of the mountain right now.
Yes. I mean, watching that play, I'm like, oh my God.
I mean,
I couldn't believe he didn't get that first down.
Didn't get it.
But he got stuck. But he gets the first down. They end up getting the ball down inside the 10. Once they get inside the 10, they bring in Harburg. First play, Harburg at quarterback. They give it to Emmett Johnson. Emmett needed to score on that run. He got it all the way down to the 1.
Yeah.
They run the same play. Harburg keeps it, and Harburg gets hit and fumbles. Iowa recovers. Ball game.
That play, though, hurt in a lot of ways.
Yes.
It hurt. It's like it hurt us deep.
It was kind of the cherry on top of the crap Sunday that was this whole everything about it.
Yeah, and I don't want to just pile on Harburg. I mean, it's
no, but
that's bad. That's just really a bad sequence for him.
Yes, and it's unfortunate because he's really been like a pretty good Husker. He's
really tried to contribute in a lot of different ways.
He's changed positions. He's all those things. Like I like Harburg.
Yeah,
for whatever reason, using him at quarterback this year was awful.
I don't know that was like, I don't know. Yeah, it's hard because all of a sudden they're like, he's going to be a pro caliber tight end or something.
Yeah, and you're like, what?
Once again, it's just expectations get too much where it's like, I don't know. Like that's part of, I don't know.
Agree.
I'll stop right there.
So ball game. I mean, at that point, ball game. I just wanted to finish with that one. So I wanted to kind of walk through these things here. Weird second half where all of a sudden you're like, whoa, Nebraska got shut out and it's 40-16. It was a weird kind of a blowout to me.
Yeah, it wasn't like it didn't feel like, oh man, they just stomped us. And it didn't really feel like that. It was just like, what happened to us there?
I don't know what. Yeah, that was like you were fighting Khabib and like he took you to the ground. You kind of you like hung in there. And then all of a sudden he kind of like.
Tried a couple things like, nope, shouldn't try that.
And then the arm barred you and you're like, what? I felt like that fight was actually going okay. And you got like,
yeah, we just,
it was a weird game. The thing that was unfortunate was early in the game, I think it was the late first, early second. I meant to write that down where it was clear that Latif had a hammy issue.
Yeah.
And that was one thing that was weird about the last two games was the thing that everybody was very excited about with Latif was that he could run. They didn't run him at Penn State. And then because of the hammy, he didn't run against Iowa. So it was frustrating because you felt like the thing that Latif brought to the table that everybody was most excited about and most excited to see how it would impact the whole offense, you didn't get to see it really because he basically didn't run in the last two games. And I will say, I don't know what the answer is. Are you really going to put in Jalen Gramstad in that? But like, you wonder if like was he hurt enough? Like if he can't run,
I almost think he looked hurt enough.
There was one replay they showed when he was trying to like on like a boot or trying to like scramble. He was literally limping.
Here's the thing with him, like it was affecting how he threw it too. So every ball was sailing long. He couldn't step into it to get the ball down. I just feel like it didn't feel like we had a chance to win with him in the game because he was like hurt enough.
I agree. And rewatching it, I'm like, man, there had to have been some thought to put in Gramstad.
I'm sure there was some thoughts. I don't know what our situation is with Gramstad.
I don't either. I mean,
I just don't know. I don't know where that sits. Like, is it such a drop off? I don't know.
I mean, you really, yeah. I mean, are you going to putting Jalen Gramstad in against Iowa when it's 25 degrees and snowing and you're down by like 2 scores is maybe like not a recipe for success. But at the same time, Latif looked like he was barely 50% out there in some ways.
Yeah. It's one thing if, Latif can't run, but he still like got the feel, it just felt like he couldn't feel comfortable throwing the ball.
He goes 9 for 24 for 69 yards.
That's bad. Like Gronowski outplayed him. If you look at the start to finish that game, like Gronowski made a lot of big plays, like a lot of them with his legs.
Yes.
And, he made those big first downs. He had some big runs and he also shook free and he made the throws he needed to make.
Yeah.
So, you got to look at Gronowski and be like, well, nobody's that excited about him. That dude's a winner. I think he's won more games than any player in college football or something? Like
He won 2
number.
FCS national championships and was like this dude is a winner. I mean, and on the season, what is he? He's got double-digit rushing touchdowns on the season here.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got 15 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, so like he's not like a I don't think he blows anybody away, but he's a winner. And I think he outplayed Latif very clearly to the point where you go like, okay, like
I know. Okay. Before we get this next section is going to be very jumbled because I just have a million things I'm throwing at you here. Do you want to do the Peerless thing just to get it out of the way?
Let's do it.
What do you want to do? I mean,
give it to Gronowski, maybe?
I wrote down 3 names. I wrote down Emmett just out of like respect.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I wrote down Gronowski or I wrote down Kirk Ferentz. I mean, just out of like this dude has he's beat Nebraska. What is he, 10-1 in the last 11 games? Yeah. He's won 7 straight in Nebraska. Someone had the stat I heard that Kirk Ferentz has more Big Ten wins in Memorial Stadium than Mike Riley, Scott Frost, and Matt Rule.
Wow.
That all 3 of those guys have not won 7 conference games. They did not win. They have won 7 Big Ten games. Like, I don't know. Who do you want to? You want to? I mean, part of me like out of
Emmett had a heck of a game. It's so overshadowed by our like shoddy second half performance that like you forget he just had like a career game.
I want to give it to Emmett because this might be the last time. I mean, I would think he'll play in the bowl. You never know. And then
he's gone.
Then I would think he's probably going to the NFL.
Yeah.
So let's give Emmett some love. I mean, because that was
what a great,
29 carries, 217 yards, had that 70-yarder, 1 touchdown, 2 catches, 22 yards. I mean, what an amazing performance. What an amazing season. And he's on the short list of unique guys that I'll remember at Nebraska in being like, everybody thought he was okay, and then all of a sudden, his final year, he is incredible. And then even within that final year, he got like marketably better every single week.
Yeah.
And you played football at a high level, played in Nebraska, played in the NFL. You know what like his durability and toughness is impressive.
He didn't leave the field much.
No. And because you played running back in high school, so you know what it's like to carry the ball 25, 30 times.
Yeah, it's like a car accident. You leave that game, I don't care how you're gonna feel it for a couple days. Like it hurts. Like that is the old like you take shots, your legs, everything hurts. Like you're like, I just get in a car accident.
Right.
And then the next week, guess what? Give me 25.
You're gonna go do it again. Yeah. And I just he's tough, he's hardworking. We could go on and on about that guy, but he has become one of the most not only well liked, but I think most respected.
Yeah, because he maxed out everything he had, and then some.
Yes,
he went. If there's an 11 button on the guitar, like he found 11.
Right,
like, put it on 11.
I know
because he went there.
God,
and like that's where like everybody that you say you talk about floors and ceilings, like
yes,
like he's an example of like. Maybe we underestimated his ceiling, and he got every like he filled it to the roof.
It was incredible. So I want to give it to him out of respect for that game and for the Emmett Johnson story. Not sure if you saw some of the behind the scenes stuff. He apparently reached out to Amir Abdullah and in the offseason and like wanted guidance from Amir and Amir's one of my favorite Huskers of all time. So it's cool. Those two guys have like a great relationship. Amir talked about how much it fills his bucket that a young player would want to reach out to him. I don't know. I think you listen to that guy. That guy is like everything you want on your football team that you cheer for.
Yeah. Agreed.
No nonsense.
I hope we make a run at trying to keep him.
We'll get into that here in a second, but that's the Peerless Energy Systems MVP. Peerless is the sole air authorized distributor for Nebraska and Iowa, making some of the best compressed air equipment in the industry. They have a locally owned and operated. They have certified compressed air auditors on staff, large local dedicated rental department, 24-hour emergency response for service parts and rental equipment. For any and all air compressor needs, Peerless Energy Systems has you covered. Go to peerlessenergy.com. Shouts out to Emmett Johnson. I also got to give a quick shout out to Pella Windows and Doors. It's cold. It got cold. If you got some drafty windows, a drafty door, obviously that's not good. Well, yeah, it doesn't happen with Pella because they are beyond meticulous and detailed with their installation experts. So if you want to start a new window or door journey, do what I did and go with Pella. Check out their showrooms, Omaha and Lincoln. Go to PellaOmaha.com or give them a call, 402-493-1350. Shouts out to Pella. Okay, my friend. Now we are into a section that just has, I wrote a bunch of things down. So this is going to be kind of like we're jumping around.
Okay.
So, I mean, because we could have come on today and gone to just the big picture discussions of things. And we're going to go to it a little bit here. But we got a long off season here to talk about a lot of this stuff. But man, final 2 games this season were bad, man. Ass kicked in both games, 37-10 Penn State, 40-16 Iowa. Gave up 77 points in the final 2 games. With this schedule and how it looked as well, 7-5 does feel like a pretty massive missed opportunity and disappointing.
Yeah.
So Matt Rule, year 1, 5-7, year 2, 7-6, year 3, 7-5, 0-8 versus ranked teams, 0-3 versus Iowa, and now 3 straight years collapsing to finish the season. Year 1, 0-4 to end the year. Year 2, 1-3 to end the year. Year 3, 1-3 to end the year. So Matt Rule is now 2-10 in the month of November at Nebraska. So the big question is, has there been a progress? Are they on pace of where they should be? I just think I'll start with just this big picture thought, and I'll throw it to you. Like, Matt Rule's coached 37 football games at Nebraska. This isn't a super small sample size here.
Yeah.
37 games, and by the end of year 3, you shouldn't really have to stretch and bend to sell progress. It shouldn't feel like a chore to really have to develop a PowerPoint presentation and present it to the board of Nebraska football fans.
Yeah.
In Section 14, our special teams are much better. That is certainly an area we are proud of. And we think in Q4, our profit will be terrific. You can't, it shouldn't be this hard. Like,
we're cooking the books.
We're like,
we reran the numbers, and it looks like we are a success.
If you check the numbers,
we are a success. It turns out I know it doesn't look like it, but we reran the numbers. Like, you can't cook the books, right? You can't cook the books.
That right. So like, it should feel relatively obvious. Like, it's like if you've been dating a girl for, I don't know what the analogy of like you've been dating a girl for 5 years, and everybody's like, or you're like, is she the one? Do you want to marry her? And you're like, I get, like, then you're like, oh, that's not good. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think just that right there is telling to me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and say, like, blow it all up. And it's, that there's been.
But that's the progress that has been made. The progress that's been made is more that we see that we've got, I would say, a guy that we believe in enough, like in Rule.
And he's gone back-to-back bowl games.
Back-to-back bowl games. Like, the expectations have gone up, we're at a bowl game and we think we should be, yes. And we are. But maybe we didn't get as far as we all expected Matt Rule to get us. And by the end of this year, that's maybe fair. I think, the difference between winning 7 and 8, okay, it would have done a lot psychologically. We would have said there's more, but like, we don't need to cook the books. One win, even like we could cook the books more on what we've got for the guys on this team. Like, how good are our coaches? How good are our players? I don't think one win changes that.
Right. You are what you are. That is what's hard.
What we are, right? So we are going to be kind of like, how good is our talent levels? Like, how good are our coaches? We could have cooked the books if we could have found a way to win. We could have proclaimed progress with that,
Mm-hmm.
You know, we beat Penn State on a real down year.
Or you just show up and you beat Minnesota.
You beat Minnesota. We did it. We've
you
gone
get to
so
8 or
farther.
whatever.
I don't think it makes that big of a difference. We kind of are what we are. I think we've made relative progress. We've gotten better than we were to the point where I think people feel better about the program. Not what they wanted maybe from Matt. Matt Rule's third year with the schedule we had.
Yeah, I think multiple things. Like, are they better now than when Matt Rule walked in the door?
Yeah.
Yes. But do I think it's been are they on pace or where I thought they would be or where I hoped they would be? No.
Yeah.
They're not as good as I thought they would be or hoped they would be by the end of year 3.
That's right.
And so it just, the other thing I was thinking about, the scary thing is for years, you could point to special teams and turnovers as being the big issues.
Yeah.
Like, imagine how many times we've done a bajillion recaps and how many times have we just said to ourselves, like, imagine what everything would look like if you were good on special teams or just serviceable on special teams and you didn't have a turnover fest offensively for every game and every season. Well, guess what? Both those areas were kind of okay.
I think it won us a couple games. I do think it won us 2 to 3 extra games, but that tells you we didn't, like that was maybe the progress we made.
Well, but I know that to me, those are
that's the progress.
If we're sitting here building the PowerPoint presentation to the board of directors, like I would point at turnovers and special teams as the main things of like, hey, address 2 big issues that were plaguing us, and that's better. But
are we going to get our bonuses this year? Well, we're really
yes, Clark Griswold, you Christmas bonus. Talk to me in the hallway after the meeting here.
Greaseball. He calls him Greaseball.
Merry Christmas. Go fuck yourself.
He goes, kiss his ass. He goes, kiss my ass. Kiss his ass.
But to me, I look at that as like, I look at it the other way. Like, it's good that you address those things, but to me, it's scary that you address special teams. You weren't a turnover fest. To me, that tells you that the core of your football team isn't good enough.
Yeah. Correct.
You know what
correct.
You address those things, and that tells me the core of your football program that's got to get slid under the microscope a little bit. Because I just don't know. I don't know. We're doing this board of directors thing. Like at the end of year 1, it was year 1. You just go, hey, listen, it was year 1. We whiffed on Jeff Sims. Harburg had to play quarterback. We patched it together. We got to 5 wins. Everybody's like, the board of directors is like, okay. Year 2, you go, we probably whiffed on Satterfield. We made that tough change late in the season. You can see Dana Holgerson and his track record, and how exciting that is, and how he made a difference in that Wisconsin game. Man, look at that Wisconsin game. That's a window into what this thing is going to look like. Bring back Dylan, blah, 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 blah. And the board of directors goes, okay, here's the thing that's hard. What are you even like, when you project forward, I don't even know what you are looking at in year 4.
I know what I'm looking at.
Give it to me.
I have a very specific set of criteria that I'm looking at.
Okay.
If I'm talking to the board.
All right. I don't know. We're making a board.
Board directors, I'm going to be looking at one very important trait for this offseason. Matt Rule's ability to use the portal in NIL to get like a next level talent at a few different spots.
Okay. What are those spots?
Offensive line, defensive line, interior defensive line, linebacker, probably receiver.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe safety. A safety, a linebacker or 2 or 3 defensive linemen, 2 to 3 offensive linemen, and 1 receiver.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot. But you know what, Nick? This is the era we're in. Matt Rule is doing all these things that I'm saying he's doing a good job of doing all this extracurricular stuff that I'm saying I think it is necessary in this time and place to set yourself up to be relevant, to go get guys and pay guys to come here.
So
will they come here if you pay them? Can you pay them? And will they come to you, in this? Because like maybe it's between you and somebody else, it's the same amount.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? you've got to have this, the bat signal's got to be up that Nebraska is better than that program.
Mm-hmm.
And Matt Rule's job is to send up that signal.
Yes. I agree with all that. The thing that's hard though within that is like, because you're totally right. But what's hard within all that is like, that's also, you don't.
That's not our guys.
And you don't know who any of those guys are going to be. So I guess it was like, I ask you right now, because I think one of the big looming questions is, what is Emmett Johnson back? My guess is probably not. I don't know how you,
unless his draft grade is low enough. Like if he's just like not projecting high enough as like if he's like, you're a 5th, 6th, 7th guy. You're like, could I work myself into the top 3 or 4 rounds, top 2 or 3 rounds,
right?
Even, like maybe he thinks that's possible.
I just don't know how you play better.
I don't know.
I don't know how you play better, and you're just going to have another 250 car crashes on your body. So I don't know. But all I do know is that if you bring Emmett back, it's going to cost you a lot of money. Okay.
Very much.
So then the other thing is, what happens at quarterback?
Yes.
If you're Nebraska now, because there was a report late last week from CBS Sports that came from somewhere on Dylan, Nebraska bracing for Dylan Raiola to hit the transfer portal, all that stuff. Now, shame on me. I didn't realize that Dominic and Dylan, they shopped around in the portal last offseason, apparently.
I heard that a little bit.
I must have been immersed in basketball season, not hearing that. You're probably doing a disservice to not try to
think it's such a money game, right? Like this is where, unfortunately, like money has already, it's corrupted the game. Like this is college football is corrupted. Like whatever purity we thought was there, we just have to sort of accept that it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And Dylan's dad was a pro, played for a long time. That usually tells me like he's seen the ugliness of the business side. He watched all his friends get cut. He got cut. Everybody gets cut. It's always when a guy comes from the pros, like he's fully understands how much of a business
the business side of the game.
He will get the dollars for Dylan. And that's by being like, guess what? We're going to do this. We're going to send out a feeler to CBS. We're going to shop him with the intent. Maybe is like, we want to be at Nebraska, but we want you to pay us more.
Right.
And that's like the nature of every program is going to be going through this, because once you introduce this, we open the gate to this is what you deal with. So I don't hold it against Dylan. I think it's the nature of the system we're in right now.
Yes.
It's unfortunate because I think we like, now that I'm watching how this goes, like it's bad for teams, and it's not the fault of the players, not the fault of the coaches. It's the fault for letting it even get to this way.
The thing, so it'll be interesting to see what happens with Dylan, because if you're Nebraska, do you go all in on trying to keep Dylan, or are you better off, for lack of a better term, using the cap space, because that's kind of what this is.
It is.
Using the cap space freed up by not having Dylan, and use that to go get the positions of need, a couple of those big positions you talked about, a couple of D linemen, a good linebacker, whatever. I don't know. And then you look at it from Dylan's perspective, like this is a big part of this is NIL dollars, but I also wonder if you're the Raiola camp, like, I know he has aspirations of being an NFL draft pick. Like, does he feel like that's happening at Nebraska for him?
Yeah.
So I don't know. What do you do with Latif? Everybody got probably put the cart before the horse on, Latif being the second coming of Jamal Lord or something like that. Yeah. And it's clearly he's got a ways to go, but like, I could see some team coming in and wanting to make a pretty good NIL offer to Latif. What do you do at quarterback if you're Nebraska? Like, you can't pay Dylan a ton, Emmett a ton, and Latif. Like, that's to me, that's probably too much money, tied up. Yeah. And you're not addressing what I think is the biggest issue plaguing this team and this program is they are not good enough on the defensive line in particular, and the offensive line. Yeah. You have to, to me, the number one priority is you got to strengthen the trenches in this portal.
Yeah.
So like that almost feels like if that's as important as what you do with Emmett and Dylan and because you've seen what the picture looks like.
Yeah.
You know what, if Dylan and Emmett come back, like you just saw what it looks like.
Yeah.
It's not good enough.
Yeah. I think especially like that defensive line, that front, even the front seven. I mean, I just felt even at like linebacker, we looked small at times. We looked
unathletic at times.
Like, and Javin's like, tall, long, and athletic, but he's like a former safety.
Right.
So we just don't have like, I've seen a couple of teams that had like big, like strong, fast linebackers. I was like, wow, it just feels like we don't have like Nick, our whole front seven. Like I like Winery. I like
McCullough.
Well, McCullough's like he'll be gone.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
McCullough's gone. Who am I? 97. Why am I blanking on his name?
Keona Davis.
So Keona Davis. I think those two guys are the two guys. I'm like, those guys will be serviceable the next couple of years, but we need to add like 3 more guys to that defensive line. 2 interior guys, like 2 in the interior, and then maybe another like speed, like edge guy, right? I think that's what I see. Couple linebackers, Singleton's out. I think, I'm not sure what we got with Guthrie right now. He's young, but I still think we got to get another safety probably. I guess Hartzog will be coming back, but like, we got a lot of spots to fill. So this isn't, I'll accept the argument. Like my hunch is you keep Dylan. You do what you got to do to keep Dylan right now. I feel like we got to give him I would probably lean saying like, hey, unless he's like, I want $10 million, it's like,
so within reason.
Yeah. Like
now you hear things that like Dylan's already like, I mean, I don't know how much more you can realistically give him.
I don't know how much you can give him without being like, look, we can't.
Listen, we are handicapping our entire team by, I mean, I think you go to him and just kind of be like, listen, man, yes, like we'd love to give you as much as we can, but like, do you want to have a better left tackle? Do you want to have a better defensive nose tackle defensively? Like,
so the question with Dylan, and this is where, me and Bub were talking about it yesterday was, is he a guy that if he went into the portal, let's call it the top 10 programs right now in college football, are those top 10 programs coming to him with offers?
That's the $1 million question. I
think Iowa would take him.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, you wonder if, I think they're thinking beyond that. I mean, I think they're thinking that, like would Ohio State be interested in?
That's the part. Like, that to me answers our question. Like, if we lost him and Ohio State took him, would you be like, the people that are like not on the Dylan train, right? I feel like then they would be like, they would second guess themselves or something. Yeah. Because I can't imagine they'd be like, oh, we gave him to Oregon or Georgia or Ohio State or and they'd be like, I guess I'd be like, what are they seeing that you're not seeing, basically, right?
I agree with that.
I don't know if he's that. Like, I don't know if he's in the top 10 programs would drop whoever else they could get to get him. But that's the question I think we got to ask. Because if he is, that's to me the answer. And I think he leans more towards, for us, I think he more is that than he is like you're a top 30 to 50 quarterback or a top 25 and beyond. Like, I think he is in that sort of top 15 guys. It's just hard to know because we haven't protected him well. He's held the ball in the pocket too long. He's not mobile. Like, there's some things that are some question marks, but in the end I go, do we really think we got somebody better?
Well, yeah. Do you want to door number 1 is Dylan. And I'm not necessarily like super comforted by that door right now based on what we've seen and all the shortcomings you just laid out. Door number 2 is letting Dylan go, freeing up some NIL cap, but you don't know what is behind door number 2 at that quarterback spot.
Yeah.
That's a hard predicament to be in. I lean towards door number 2, to be honest with you.
You do.
I lean towards you need to invest in other areas. If we're,
I mean, I don't poo-poo that at all, because I think, man, that's like, you see that in the NFL. You'll see, like, it's like if you find a serviceable guy like a Gronowski, and you can get some dudes everywhere else. You can win. Like Iowa was close to winning 10, 11 games, right? They were a player
couple
or two,
plays away. Yep.
Right. So they're in it. Like, you can do it if you've got everything else, but you better dang well get everything else right.
That's yes.
And so because if you don't get the QB, like, that's where I go, man. We've had enough years here where we didn't have a quarterback we felt good about, and it's hopeless without a quarterback. At least with a quarterback, you get in the late game, and I feel like I go, God, we got a chance. And that's where Dylan gave me that.
I agree with that.
I will
agree with that. Like, he gave me a confidence level late in a game at that quarterback spot that you haven't had in a really long time.
Yeah.
But I also then just flip it and go, okay, but then why wasn't the offense better? Like, you had the best running back you've had in over 10 years that rushed for 1,400 yards and was is going to be first team all Big Ten. Your wide receivers were not, I mean, like, between Barney, Key, Hunter, Lindenmeyer, like, that's not I'm not saying that's great, but that's not awful. So I just go, what was wrong with the offense all year?
I think there's almost like a little bit of a chemistry problem as the year went on. Or I feel like we had moments, but I feel like we never got the chemistry going. Some of the best chemistry is like when Emmett was just like, got into a groove. I think maybe the issue with Dylan was like, we didn't get Emmett into enough of a groove when Dylan was maybe like,
they never played well kind of at the same time. But I think just in general, and this could even go to the whole team. Like, I can't even, did Nebraska ever play a game where you felt like they put together 4 good quarters?
No, they just didn't do it.
And that, some of that was the defense, some of that was the offense. And I'm throwing away the Houston Christian and Akron game, guys. Like, I'm just, if you want to, great. Yes, they did play well in those games, but give me a break. I'm talking about against Cincinnati and then your Big Ten schedule. They very rarely put together 4 good quarters. Yeah. So I don't know. I think everything we're saying makes it hard for anyone who projects next year at this point. You're just guessing.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that's unsettling to me. It's like, you felt like you would be able to see it coming, where I talk about, like, has there been enough progress? Are they on pace? Like, I don't even know how to project year 4, because I think there's a chance that there's a world where a lot of Nebraska's best players aren't even in Lincoln right now.
And this is where that whole progress talk is tough. Like, the progress has been made in some areas. It's unquestionable to me, but like, the fact that we are talking about the thing that's going to get us over the hump is players that aren't on this team right now, is where we fell short.
Agree.
We fell short there.
Yes, because let's just go through, like, projecting for next year. Quarterback, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not even sure who's going to be under center.
Yeah.
Running back, if it's not Emmett, you're going to need to go in the portal and get a running back.
Yep.
O-line, you need to improve there. You're probably going to have to go get some dudes there. Tight end, you're losing. Lindenmeyer's going to go in perpetuity with the Scarlet Dance team and party. Carter Nelson didn't do anything this year. I don't know what's happening at the tight end spot. Question mark. Wide receivers, you're losing Dane Key. You probably need to go get another wide receiver. Like, I don't know about that position.
Yeah.
Which then goes to the overall offense. I don't know. D-line, you need like wholesale changes there.
Yeah.
Okay. Linebacker, you need probably wholesale changes there. Defensive backs, Marshall, like it.
Yeah.
Guthrie, Donovan Jones.
I like Donovan Jones.
Like, you're bringing
Donovan Jones is a guy that, as like this year progressed, I'm like, I feel like I trust him in a lot of ways. He seems he's physical.
Yeah, yes.
Tackles well.
Right.
He's done a good job. I like him and Hartzog. Hartzog, Donovan Jones, Marshall.
Caleb Benning, I think, could be a good player eventually here. Like,
yeah.
okay, so then overall defense, you go, I don't know.
I mean,
Holgerson, I was high on him. I didn't think he had a great year. Some of that stuff could have been circumstances outside of his control, but I would give him like if we're grading him, I'd give him like a C.
That's probably right.
Butler. I mean,
I don't know.
As Sean Callahan put it with judging Butler, like, is it the chef? Is it the ingredients, or is it the cookbook? I think that's the best way to phrase it. Like, I don't know.
I think we have to be, I wouldn't say harsh or judge. I mean, Butler and the defensive line coach, like,
yeah,
they're new to their positions as coordinator, and this guy's new and like, so I don't know. But that D line
was bad. It was bad, Bo. They couldn't stop the run. They didn't sack the quarterback. They weren't disruptive. They were bad. So that's where I can't, like, of all that, when I think of like the things that Rule and company whiffed on, they whiffed on Jeff Sims. They whiffed on Satterfield. And I think one of the things they whiffed on was not replacing Ty and Nash adequately.
Agreed.
They whiffed on that.
They did.
And so, but to circle it back, Bo, I just went through the whole special teams. I feel good about Eckler. I'm like, I'm a huge fan, which, by the way, you hope somebody doesn't come in and try to swoop that guy up. I imagine he loves it here so much that he ain't going anywhere, but don't want to borrow trouble. But I say all that, like, so anybody, that's what's hard about this whole thing. I haven't seen enough in the first 3 years to feel like, ooh, here it comes. And then when you project even the team for year 4, I don't know what the hell this team's even going to look like.
This is where this is what I also don't know is, do we feel like we're unique in this, or is every team in the country like, who's going to be here next year?
Probably. I mean, yeah,
I would say unless you're like one of these rare powerhouses that pays big, but even them, they're going to have to deal with, well, somebody else is going to like the pay thing is going to mess up almost every team in the country with who's for sure going to be here. Well, the highest bidder usually wins. And so I think we're not totally unique in that, like, where are we in the rebuild? Well, every year's a rebuild.
I know it's
even though like Nebraska might be more of a rebuild because we've been like, 3 years ago we were starting the rebuild. I think most teams, it's like every year, like we gotta make sure we piece this together, because where you could count on that sophomore to be a junior and that junior to be a senior, you can't count on it.
Like, is Keona Davis went in the portal last year and came back? Like, are you going to retain Keona Davis? I don't know. I mean,
well, if he wants money, he should go, right?
Yeah, like, but you probably, what's weird is like you say you need a whole defensive line, but you also probably can't afford to allow like Winery and Keona Davis to walk out the door.
No, they're two best guys. Yeah,
it's just this. There's a lot of moving parts to this whole thing, which makes it very hard to project what anything is going to look like next year. Oh, by the way, the schedule gets dramatically harder next year.
Yeah.
So I don't know. A couple more things, we're out of here. I will say this. You could argue, probably Matt Rule would argue, and all the, the people that are just going to be Husker homers, which this isn't wrong, but you could argue November 1st, third quarter, blackout, USC, Nebraska's up 14-6 with the ball basically in the red zone.
Yeah.
And Dylan Raiola gets hurt.
Yeah.
Fast forward 28 days, listen to our conversation. It's amazing how some people would say, listen, if Dylan doesn't get hurt there, Nebraska probably beats USC and da-da-da. But I'm not, that's doing a lot of assuming. And I've watched this program for long enough that I'm not assuming a goddamn thing.
Yeah,
okay?
I kind of understand that.
I don't know why I get, Rule did talk about the, selling the whole situation, that he looks out and see, a lot of freshmen and redshirt freshmen and sophomores on defense, and that those guys are blah, blah, like, I don't know why, like, the youth thing.
Not in year 3,
man. Like, I'm sorry. Like, that if you wanted to do that in year 1.
Yeah, because
like what are we doing? All of a sudden now we're like rebuilding for year 5.
You can't count on. This is where like we can't even talk about youth anymore, because every year is a rebuild in the portal with the potential loot. Like, that's where it's like these coaches, they got to be crafty in how they do it. But really, I think Rule needs to just be like, we just gotta. We're in a better. He should say we're in a better spot to go get better guys.
Yes, because
go get them.
Because I don't know. For some reason, I might be Mr. Angry media guy, but like I'm hearing that. I'm not trying to hear that. I'm not trying to hear. Oh, we're young. Stop that. It's year 3. Okay. Like no.
Here's the signal I'm waiting for is we didn't make many moves this offseason because we like what we have. We think that our guys are ready. Like if you're telling me we're just sticking with what we got, we're going to run it back. That to me will be my sign of like, ooh,
that's concerning.
Ooh, you know what I mean?
That is concerning.
We don't got the juice to go get anybody. That's what you're telling me.
Last thing, we'll get out of here. Just it's crazy to say out loud. Emmett Johnson accounted for 82.8% of Nebraska's running back carries. He had 251 yards and 251 carries for 1,451 yards. Mosey had 19 carries for 83 yards. Ives 16 carries, 119. Nelson 1559. Like that's just wild to say out loud on how reliant they were there.
Yep, that'll be if he goes, that's a big hole to fill.
You got to go get a running back.
Yep.
This is going to be very interesting to see what happens.
Because the portal opens when?
The portal opens in January. I thought basically right at January 2nd, maybe I want to say.
When does transfer?
And people are thinking Vegas, New Year's Eve bowl.
Oh, I wonder if one of our friends will be there. January 2 to January 16th.
Yep. So January 2, January 16, buckle up.
With spring, that's basketball. So football is only this year just the one window.
That's what I thought. But
I like that because at least then you can get through spring ball.
I guess.
Right?
I don't know what I think of it here. All I know is there's a lot. This to me, is it hyperbolic to say the next from now until you said the January 16th?
January 16th.
From now until January 16th, we'll tell the tale of the Matt Rule era at Nebraska.
I actually think that's probably right because here's what Matt Rule has been cutting edge on so many things. Is he cutting edge on his ability to diagnose who around the country he thinks is good that could help our program, send up a signal that this is where you should be, pay and recruit those people to come here? That's really what I am sort of putting my trust in Matt Rule because I think he's a good coach. I think he's a good program builder.
Yeah.
But he hasn't been Signetti, elite at any of those things right now. But can he do this thing, which is get some players in here?
We go.
This is his year. I actually think this is what we'll learn from Matt Rule. Like, is he the guy for our future? A lot will be told, I think, in the next handful of months getting these guys.
Okay. Well, do we want to go? I thought I heard they're handing out the Christmas bonuses. Do we want to go? Do you want to go try to get
Griswold, let's go.
A Hurrdat Sports Network production.